All right. Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Everybody, what's popping? Let me turn this up a little bit. Coming to you guys with another video. Anybody who knows enough of me know that I'm very articulated in my speech and how I speak. Sometimes of course, most of the time my pronunciation is terrible, but you guys get the point. I've never been a person to come up here and talk out my backside and or state or say anything that not only could I not back up, but I didn't study or get into myself. Now, I'm not going to go into the aesthetics on how I come across the information I come across. I just know what I know for the same reason why I grew up knowing that, how this country was founded, how this country created genocide to take it over, and et cetera, and how people of my color have been exploited since the founding of this country, even up to now, and how there was nothing put in play or place to put us on a certain pedestal that Caucasian America is on. Let's face it, it is what it is. But in this video, I deemed it and named it for what it was. There is something I want you guys to actually sit back and understand. And I came across this because this is something I knew for. I know about all these different glyphs and things of this nature. Let's face it, this country, the whole world was founded on past glyphs and other societies and all types of other different organizations, whatever you want to call them. Now, this is basically something you can find. It's something you can find on your own, even as far as encyclopedias. We all know encyclopedias and everything was made. It's a lot of stuff that people put into just different shit. But excuse me, if anybody knows, excuse me, you can look up either Corona, which was actually a saint, and or you could look up Victor and Corona in your encyclopedia, and that'll probably give you a better general idea of what's popping, what's going on. Now, some people don't understand that, there was a saint by the name of Corona. She was basically a saint of plagues and infectious diseases, which is ironic, considering the fact that she was actually supposedly have been worshipped from March to May, and there's a huge feast or feast basically. Fest. What kind of word is fest? And we all know around May 14th is when the Pope always globally, does his speeches and stuff, and try to educate the world and the youth. And you think about the word youth, think of all the Catholic pedophilization. That's not a word, I'm just using that. On what goes on in these churches. You got to understand something. It's human behavior for any and everybody to have intercourse. Certain animals do it, insects do it, humans do it. Some people think it's shameful and think it's ungodly to do so because these are people that put their own interpretations in where and or what they think about religion. I know personally that religion is basically is no different than politics and law. It's all in there not to benefit you. It's there to benefit the higher uppers, the people that basically state and say what this is, to keep people in certain aspects and to have people too busy rallying up to think and decide, if they want to be Democrat or Republic. It doesn't matter. It's the same shit. Whether you're a drug lord and or the government that allowed a drug lord to stay in business, it doesn't matter. It's all part of the same game. Think about it. If you don't have drug lords, you don't have big businesses. You don't have big businesses. Most of all countries are built on the backbone of organized crime, on criminal activity and period. Look at the DA, the district manager. Look at the DEA, which is basically the Drug Enforcement Agency. This agency wouldn't exist. They wouldn't get funding from the government if they don't, or the CIA wouldn't have the money they have if these organizations and people don't exist. if they killed off drug lords and the drug lords have minions that work for them and they all kick up to the CIA and the drug enforcement agencies and stuff, and these people have big homes, they have a big wallet to buy and do what they want, and at the same time they help create criminal organizations on the streets to be able to operate, make money, but at the same time keep these individuals in play and in office so they can do, or as they call, a job, so they can minimize and lock up the low end or the poor and the weak by starting organizations and having a Department of Correction up there, which is another big business. One hand washes the other. People don't understand. You ever notice how, like, for instance, if you do something and you have a business, or if you're a regular person, you do something what they deem to be unethical, they want to lock you up and say you're a scammer. But if a big business or corporation or LLC do it, it's a business practice. It's always so much bullshit in here. Now, some people may say, well, what that got to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything. Because, again, I can sit here and tell you about all this and whatnot. Well, I highly suggest you find out this stuff on your own. Now, again, you could just go and type in Corona. You will see the so-called saint come up. And or you will turn around and you will see just the vast craziness of just how weird it is. Because you think about how they keep concentrating mainly on Italy, and being that Victor and Corona started in Italy, but then there's another path of how they actually state that Corona herself was actually a descendant or whatnot in Greek mythology and what they did in Greece. And if you think about even before this whole pandemic started getting socialized here in the US, you can see how in Greece, how they were butchering, murdering, and killing off a lot of dark-skinned people from Africa. So a lot of this shit, like if you sit back and you read it, I mean, if they sit there and have detectives lock up the wrong people and have cops and law enforcement, sit here and build cases against people, then and they use what they call so-called common sense and common law to do this, then why the fuck you people can't sit here and do your own investigation on putting two and two together? I always sit back and put two and two together and realize 2 and 2 equals 4. If you add one item, add another, whether it's called math and what, you can call it common sense. Hey, this thing and this thing, for some reason, there's more than one. You don't have to verbally say two or dos. You just know that this is, in the human English, it's two. In the Spanish, it's dos. And of course, in Japanese, it would be called ni. And in Korean, it would be called si, I think. Yeah, si, or something like that. Dosi etne. Yep, it'll be si. But anyway, you guys know what I'm getting at with this. I could be pronouncing it wrong or whatnot, but I'm just about there. I'm just trying to make a valid point. I would just tell people to, just read into all this yourself. But, if you look at the fact that, basically they say that Victor and Stefania Corona, that's basically who she is. They say also known as Victor and Stephanie are two Christian martyrs. Most sources state that they were killed in Roman Syria during the reign of Marcus Aurelius in 170s AD. I mean, there's all. I mean, you got to look up this, and this will be linked to that. If you look at how it started in Damascus, it goes on and on. But sometimes you guys have to understand something. Anybody who ever served in the military or anything, they use abbreviations of certain names, and that's how, like, when you give somebody a license plate, or like if you have a 911 call and you use certain abbreviations of words to abbreviate that first letter, because sometimes if you're on a phone, or like you ever notice how like you call up and you give your social, or you give this and that, or you give certain names, or you, like for instance, you're on eBay and you give your eBay name. People can always, sometimes depending on your pronunciation, people mistake a letter for another letter. Like T and P sound the same. You understand? D and B, A and E, depending on what the person is hearing and the static and the clarity of your voice, that person, these words can be mixed up. This is the reason why they came up with the whole military graded abbreviation for stuff. Like if you're saying, let's say Mike Apple, or let's say somebody say, oh, well, what's your username? You would say, like, you may say Apple John. They might hear Napple or something Bond. You know what I mean? So you have to abbreviate it. So if you're saying Apple, you would actually spell it out. It will basically be Apple, Paul, Lee, or Low, Eric. For them to understand it, that's military abbreviation. You understand? And then a John would be, it'll be John or J, Oscar, Nancy, Harry. That, those are military abbreviations. That, they use that in everything. Like, if you call up or if somebody give a license plate number, it will be, or military, especially Army abbreviation, they will call something like, it will be Kilo, Mike, Bravo, Echo, Sam, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's, what I'm saying? So that's basically how they come up. The same thing with Greek mythology. And if you notice, if you go in your medicine cabinet and just look at some medications you got, those are all Greek made up interpretations or words to spell out a medication that was created from different individuals. Everybody in certain parts of the world help create medications. Let's face it, the legal pharmaceutical companies are not but crooks. They give you medications that have worse side effects than street drugs. The only difference is they can tax, and they have businesses and corporations that make billions, not for trillions of dollars, off of the backbone on trial cases, like what they try to do with this new medication for the coronavirus. I can go on and on and on here. I was looking at a video of a guy. A guy was in his car and he was crying outside of a Brooklyn hospital. I'm not gonna say where. I know where it is because I know Brooklyn because that's where I'm from. And he's actually in his vehicle crying, and he keeps repeating over and over because he's hysterical and he's terrified. This is what happens when you people out there are not willing to listen, and when you're so scared out your backs that you're not prepared for shit. I always try to come up here and prepare a lot of you people for what's to come and what's happening. I'm sitting back on Easy Street because I knew this. I mean, I'm glad it happened at my time, so at least this way I can try to help prepare my children and whatever, because at least I'm here for them in a sense of being able to guide them to what needs to be done if they're gonna need to do things or whatever. At least that way they're more prepared and less terrified. Like yesterday, my cousin, he lost his father a couple of days ago. His father was sick. They found him in a house and they took him to a hospital in New York, in Brooklyn, which happens to be a hospital that they actually announced that they're going to use as a COVID-19 hospital, which is the same hospital I had my fusion done, my spinal surgery done to my neck when my neck was broken due to a motorcycle accident in 2008. I'm not gonna say the hospital. Well, did I say it? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. And because of his age and the circumstances and stuff, and let's face it, they have legally stated on television that they are going to give doctors have to make these crueling actions to decide who they do the same thing in the medical field. Medical field been doing this shit in war forever. So it's nothing new to me because I know better. If anybody out there who served know and understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. They decide out in the field. This is why a lot of soldiers get killed and they die, because sometimes they have to make an executive decision right there on the spot, who lives and who passed away. I mean, if this person is gonna cause more harm to keep this person alive, sometimes you have to make people comfortable and just put your arms down and turn away. than to sit there and try to, plant and put so much emphasis on trying to save a person that 9 out of 10, have a chance of not of expiring anyway. And that's exactly what these people are doing. And my cousin, father passed away yesterday morning due to COVID-19 in New York. So it's hitting personal. It's hitting close to home. You understand? And again, this person was crying hysterically to my, this shit is real, y'all. He's repeating it over and over again, and getting more emotional, more upset. Because let's face it, you don't have to know a person. When you walk by the street, you see somebody laying there dead on the street, whether it's a motorcycle, anything. As a human being, you get angry, you get upset. It's something in your spirit that even if you don't know the person, either the person deserves. It's just something about us as humans that are like, it gets it makes you emotional. Whether you cry or hysterical, or it just some emotion in you gets you angry and gets you frustrated, and you feel sorrow, anger toward death, and just a lot of shit all in together. And I think that's what this person was experiencing, because now you're seeing pictures of people, and they're putting people like in a truck, like people are get rid of whole toilet paper or home goods or whatever. They're putting bodies in tractor trailers now, and it's only gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse, and now they're telling you that they're not gonna allow people to not be able to, like in Italy, they in other places they're showing they're allowing some people, very few people, to actually stand there. They're not opening caskets, but to stand there and say goodbye to their families. But they're actually cremating. Now, if you look at the Zeitgeist years ago, they were talking about how I can go on and on. I'm tired of sitting here in school and trying to school and help you fucking idiots out there, because you guys and girls out there sitting back like it's okay. You don't realize your own government, the people that are sitting here doing this shit is real. It's just as real as seeing bodies being loaded in trucks, taken out of hospitals with people in not gonna say bio gear, but in some kind of gear that's supposed to, or they think can help them. It's like, yo, this shit is crazy, man. Like, and they tell me, the death tolls this, the death tolls that. I already knew the president, I already knew that shit wasn't gonna happen. Now they talking about late April. Late April's gonna turn to May. May's gonna turn to June. June's gonna turn to July. Next thing you know, the death toll is gonna be bananas. It's gonna be so ridiculous. Why? And the reason why they talk about old folks and young, and unfortunately the other day there was just a case of a 1-month-old child passed away from this. Let me explain something to you guys. Death don't give a fuck what color you are. It don't care if you like pussy or dick. It don't give a damn how much money you got in the bank, what kind of video games or toys you like. It don't give a fuck what you collect. It don't give a flying fuck on where you live, how you look, what color you are, what kind of car you drive, how much you got in the bank, what block you live on, if you live in a house or apartment. It don't matter if you're fucking a day old. It don't matter if you're 100 years old. What the fuck? All these governments, all this man-made sick bullshit. It's all about depopulation. I've been trying to say this shit for years, and everybody's like, "Oh, he one of those he's one of these." Okay, well, you know what? Every time I came on, what do they call it, Statue Collective? I already forgot the name of it. Every time I try to come up, even my old channels years ago, I've been trying to come up and tell you guys about this, and y'all all, boy, he's one of these motherfuckers. Okay. They're already saying they're gonna start locking people up, finding people, because they don't want people, they don't want people in certain areas. They don't want this, they don't want that. Have you ever explained and asked yourself, why is it so important to desocialize from people? It's not really about, they don't really give a shit about that. It's not really about what you think it is. It's just another form of controlling the masses. So this way, they come into your home. You don't have any witnesses to witness them dragging you out, maybe even killing you right there on the spot. So this person can videotape it and put it online, so it can become something that's not hitting no more. This is the reason why they're doing the shit that they're doing. If this government and other governments and other countries really gave a flying fuck about any of us, this shit would have never came out. They've been trying, like they false flag 9/11. They use the same state that they false flag 9/11 to cause a bombing to try to get the American people to do everything they do. They try to force shit upon people to get people to get, you know what I'm saying, to try to take rights away from you. So this way, when they decide to come in and do what they want to do, you know what I'm saying, you don't have means or ammo or ways to protect yourself. Because let's face it, first thing a bully does is try to do everything they can to keep their power and to keep, you know what I'm saying, to keep people terrified of them. Why you think when, you know, a police officer come out their face and they realize they're dealing with a real motherfucker that they don't give a fuck about that little piece of shit, you know, fake metal made bullshit on their chest? First thing they do is they call for backup. Now all of a sudden everybody's a big man. That's no different than a gang. It's a legalized gang. You know, intimidate by numbers. This is what they do. They use certain words. They get up in your face because, you know, when they buy themselves, they're terrified. When it's more than one of them, oh, it's a whole big story. And then if you fight them back, you're an animal. You know, like if Eric Gardner fought the cops back, he'd probably still be in jail, but you know what? He'd be alive. You can't be passive to nobody, especially to your own government and your own people you pay taxes to protect you that basically perpetrate against you. Because let's face it, this is what they do. The government, you know, and then the Department of Justice, and that asshole who had the Department of Justice, I hope him and everybody in his household catch coronavirus and die. And I'm saying that, and I mean that, because this fucking piece of shit was more worried about trying to suspend the constitutional rights. Why is it so important that people stay away from each other? And it's so important that you guys are running around, and now even in Rhode Island, they got people tracking down and hunting New Yorkers and trying to lock them up. You're trying to tell people that, hey, we don't want you traveling from one state to another, and we want everybody to stay home. Why is all that stuff so important? Why is it so important to sit here and give out tickets and citations? Why is that so important? Why the fuck is money of value to you if 90% of America can't fucking work and don't have no means of knowing where their next meal is going to come from? Why is the government so, I would say, so malicious on carrying out those orders than worrying about how they're going to help the American people and how we're going to get through this? They're concentrating more on their law, on trying to force you to do what the fuck they want you to do, than actually, you know, life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like holding life and shit. Like right now, I'm talking real shit on YouTube, and I got one viewer. But if I was one of these other people on YouTube, like, what the hell's, not to say I have anything against them or Chase After the Right Price or anybody else out here who just do videos on shit y'all want to hear. You know, you can't, you know, this is the reason why what's going on is going on, because you fucking idiots out there are too busy being dumbass sheep, fucking, you know, mindless, brainwashed fucking imbeciles. And this is why it got as far as it got, because of that. I sat here and tried to warn you guys for years about Hot Toys Sideshow, and y'all disliked me and didn't like me and unsubbed me and talked about me behind my fucking back because you guys are spending your hard-earned money on these companies. And now the same companies that you kiss their ass, now you guys have people verbally talking about these companies. And a lot of you guys since then have got rid of these companies, but you'll never sit here and say, well, you know what, that nigga Mike was right. Here it is. I'm getting rid of my shit. And the same thing he was talking about the company. Maybe if we listened to this motherfucker and we all had a plan behind this, none of these companies, including these new customizers that are shipping broken shit to people, wouldn't be charging the money they charge. But no, motherfuckers are stupid. And no, I don't have the corona cough. When I drink milk or eat dairy, you know, this happens. So anyway, outside of that bullshit, moving on to the next phase. You know, has it ever occurred to you guys why people and, you know, governors and mayors are holding on to viable medical supplies and stuff? Because they want to kill off not only a lot of, you know, think about it, this planet, we have outmaxed our resources. You have a government and governments that can manipulate the weather. They can manipulate your own thoughts. And some of y'all might say, this nigga's crazy. No. For decades, for fucking over a century to decades, they've been sitting here trying to find ways to not only have you, like they can get the truth out of you by giving you a serum to make you uncontrollably tell them what they want to hear, and you can't even control yourself. So why can't they have a serum that can sit there and make you do something and harm somebody? Come on, if they have shit that can cause you to spit out the truth against your will, then they damn sure have control substances that can alter you to or brainwash you to do what the fuck they want to do. And if they can sit here and they have devices that can tell you when the weather is coming and how the weather is going to affect this and that, they found ways to fucking disrupt the weather pattern. On the weather patterns, to use the weather to their own, to manipulate the weather, basically. And a lot of people say, "Oh, this nigga is crazy." I'm so fucking crazy. Explain to me why right now, y'all all sitting here like, "Oh, I don't want to catch corona." Woo, damn, y'all some dumb motherfuckers out here. Let me explain something to y'all motherfucking idiots. And I say idiots to the ones that sit there and always thought I was an idiot, and here it is, this idiot spitting and speaking the truth. Oh my damn. Woo, man, if it ain't my nigga, man. Chi-Town, what's up, bro? I love this fucking dude, man. This dude is the man. My man, Willosaurus. Chi-Town, yay. This guy right here is one of the most legitimate brothers out there. And I don't just mean as in a black brother, just a brother that always did. He never fell into, yeah, no problem, brother. No problem, man. Ain't no reason to thank me. You are one of the reasons why I keep doing my videos. This is a person that, regardless if there was wars between other people on YouTube or whatnot, this guy, if he do a review of something, he always gave his own emphasis on what a review was, and he didn't fall into nobody's jibber jabber. And the reason why he's so liked and loved is because he have a certain politeness on how he goes about it. And again, this illustrates one of my points on this whole YouTube thing. I always came up here on YouTube and try to help people. Now, getting back to this pandemic nonsense, I'm a very smart person, I would think. My pronunciations may be off at times, but I know what I know when I know it. And it's just, you guys and girls out there need to wake up, man. It's already late in the game for this, but everybody's gonna personally be struck by this COVID-19. First, you have to ask yourself why they went from two names. They first started with the coronavirus, then they went from coronavirus to COVID-19. I can tell you the difference. The difference is the fact that the stronger strand of the coronavirus got upgraded with its name because of the novel disease. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys should know that or whatever by now anyway, but I'm just illustrating that. Now, this is a first wave. This is nowhere by far. I guess if you were playing Super Mario Brothers, and we all know anybody who ever played Mario know how many levels Mario got. And the shit that should scare you is the coronavirus is not even the first world boss. It's the first world level. And COVID-19 is basically Super Mario World 1, stage 2. So again, you still got 2 more stages before you get to the boss. So you have to ask yourself, how crazy is this shit really going to get before we even get to the first world boss? Because right now we're only on level 2. And if you guys never listened to me before, listen to me now, because I've been trying to sit here and school people on how to prepare and what they needed. I've done videos on things you would need to purify your water, to certain things you would need, and your emergency, I would call it chaotic bag. I got all that. I've done a video about a week or so ago on showing you guys my, just one of my Foot Lockers. You guys see my biohazard masks. I've been ready. I think waiting is a strong word. I would say I've been prepared is probably the best word, because nobody wants to be ready for any kind of crazy shit like this, regardless of who you are. But I have been prepared for this for a long time. And it's like my kids like, damn, Dad, you the man. And it's not about being patted on the shoulder, but they say that because they're like, yo, you've been telling us this shit for years. And even your own family sometimes be like, all right, this motherfucker losing his losing his head. But you know, I always prepared my children for the worst, and I never lied to my kids about anything. I always told my kids about the whole Santa shit. I'm not gonna sit here, no disrespect to nobody, and have no fat white dude with a long gray beard sit here and try to tell me or try to bestow on my children that, hey, some big fat white dude, they got enough credit. They got Jesus and everything. I don't need to sit here and try to explain to my kids that Santa Claus exists when I want them to know that mommy, daddy, and your loved ones and friends around you gave you a gift because of the holidays and because they wanted to, not because some fat ass white dude with a long gray beard. And Isaiah laughing because he know, you know, I always tell my kids that I've always been a truthful person to my children. I never lied to my kids about anything, you know. And even sometimes if I promise something to them, I still give it for them, but they may not be able to use it if they do things they're not supposed to do. Why? Because I'm a person that keeps my word. All right, always, you know. And now, getting back to this whole COVID-19 nonsense, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I think you guys and girls out there, you know, just do your own research. Just type in Saint of Corona or Corona the Saint. You can type that in. That's going to come up. Another name known for her, Stefania. Do you have Victor? And it goes there everything from the top from the myths and stuff from Italy to Germany as well as Greek. And the reason I'm bringing all that stuff up is because to see how much they're concentrating on all the bodies and stuff in Italy. You see how this thing started as far as the mistreatment of blacks being butchered, mutilated, and killed in Greece, excuse me. And we all know, like, from the first Crusades and how they were running around beheading people. They were doing a lot of crazy shit in history back then. The Bible speaks of it. So does the Quran and the Holy Quran and the Torah. And I think these are all just books on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really like giving my own. I don't really like when it comes to politics and religion. I try to stay neutral to that. I just try to speak on real life situations and whatnot, and just shit that's popping off. And if everything I haven't, whether you remember some of the things I've said on my old Mike Son 007 channel, even to now, from me being on shows with Vic and Lou, where I always speak about this, and they both shared a lot of my enthusiasm with this. They didn't put it out there like that, and I'm not just saying that because they're both not here to fight and speak for themselves. But if one family was respectful enough to let me go on YouTube and give all you guys a farewell shot of Vic laying, you know, of Vic laying and suspended, you know, being where he was, I did that. Not nobody else, me. I went there and I did that. And I showed love for YouTube on letting all you guys basically be at this man's funeral. I did that. A real nigga did that. When Lewis passed away, I didn't go to his house, you know, trying to see if the family want to help get rid of statues, none of that. I went to the house to condone and be there for him and his family because we already made a pact. That's what we were going to do. Me and him, our bond was this strong after Vic passed away. Me, him, and Vic were always cool. I always had a pact like this with Vic, and I met Lou through Vic. And because of the respect and love they have for each other, you know, Lou was being willed in or railed in, what do you call that shit? You know, to me because of that. But we got even closer after that because we shared a love and a respect for this dude. And all three of us had a lot of shit in common. You know, Lou was just a lot more, I ain't gonna say passive, but a lot more discreet on how he spoke. Vic, you know, he hung his heart on his sleeve. Me, I was just a whole different. I was like both of them and worse because I'm straightforward with it. I have no discreet filter. And I know that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like me, but at the same time, I'm comfortable. I'm fine. I'm as fine as I'm going to be. And I am going to be doing a garage sale on Saturday like I normally do. I didn't do it this weekend that passed because of the rain. And it ain't no fucking official going to sit there and tell me, oh, you can't do it. Man, fuck you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've always been the kind of person that do what the fuck I want to do. I don't follow no man's law. I follow your law when it comes to staying intact on, you know, going out there, you know, stealing, robbing, killing, selling drugs, that kind of shit. Well, when it comes to my well-being, And if it's something that I know I'm not breaking no type of legislative law, like real criminal law, I'm gonna do what the fuck I'm gonna do. Because at the end of the day, self preservation over exceeds anything. Like for instance, a cop or anybody's choking you and you feel your life is threatened, you kick and break the motherfucking kneecap, you turn around, you step nigga in the throat and kill him. Fuck it. And I'm saying this shit up here on YouTube. Self-preservation is your law. Because at the end of the day, government don't give a flying fuck about you, me, him, or her. Again, this virus is man-made. It's bio warfare. Anybody ever understood why this orange asshole we got for a president? Let's face it, we owe trillions of dollars to China. But at the same time, this virus started there. And it wasn't just from, and you got people talking about, oh, it's a virus in the bats. If that's the case, then why the fuck you guys didn't blow up and start killing bats all around the world if they hold this thing like that? Now all of a sudden you telling me that, so if a bat dropped feces, and bats, let's face it, animals cough. All animals cough. Insects too. If anything can eat, for anything something puts into its mouth, it can ingurgitate it out. For anything that goes in your mouth, normally comes out another end. That's for any insect and animal on the face of this planet. Even as far as plants and trees go, let's face it. What do you think that is? Like, let's face it. We don't, we don't get oxygen on our own. Trees bring oxygen. Trees give us oxygen. Why do you think people in the woods and people in farms and stuff, why do you think they're healthier, they're bigger, they're stronger? Because they're around more natural resources than we are. If you live in a big city, big concrete jungle, you deal with more electric radiation from telephone and overhead wires. Let's face it, that stuff does damage us. You know what I'm saying? And it's different when you live in like for people who live in the woods and live out, you may think some of the shit they eat is disgusting, but there's no pesticides, there's no chemicals on the meats they eat because it's straight from nature. They live a lot better because they don't deal with the pesticides and stuff and all the shit we deal with. And again, they're around a lot of trees. You ever notice how, like, if you were in the summertime, you ever notice how just sitting under a tree, it's more shade? It's not just the leaves, but you gotta remember something. If you ever look at oxygen, go to the hospital and put oxygen to your face and shit. It has a cold essence to it because of what it is. It is an element at the end of the day. You ever notice how you go like this, use a manual fan or a fan, that fan creates enough oxygen in it and it blows out cool air. Same thing for AC or whatever. Just fan in my hand, I feel cold. Why? That's air. That's air forcing itself. You understand? And then for the same thing, that's how it is with oxygen. We breathe, we breathe out carbon monoxide and we breathe in oxygen. Trees breathe out oxygen and it breathes in carbon monoxide. So it's a trade-off. And for the same thing that happens, it's the same shit with this whole thing with the bats. You got Korean doctors and everybody sitting here being forced to go on television and try to manipulate the public by telling you that, oh, if you guys knew that this shit was in bats, why are you allowing people to eat this stuff? Why you don't just go around and kill off this shit? You're right, Lou. I mean, you're right, Will. But it ain't nothing to think, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I know I have a certain aura about me. For some reason, my aura, I get more hate than I should get. I ain't gonna say praise, but more hate than I get love from people. And maybe that is the way I am. I can't help the fact that I just don't have a discreet filter. And I don't want to put you in the middle of this, so I'm not. But I know you understand where I'm coming from. If I can get a person like you to have this much respect and love for me, that means I'm doing my job. For every million I try to touch, and it's sad how I only got less than maybe 100 or maybe less than 300 now subs, and I should be in way over the damn 30,000-40,000 sub thing, because I always come up here and try to help people. But I guess the way I come about it and people just look at me as a threat. It's like, you ever notice how, I remember back in the day when Phil Donahue had his television show. You could see all the anger and hatred in the audience from people that don't share the same skin tone as Louis Farrakhan. But the thing is, the message sometimes is about, it's not even about how you bring the message. It's about people's perspective on what they think your message is. And that's the problem. A lot of people are so arrogant and they don't want to listen or learn anything. So sometimes they view your message as a threat because they have so much envy toward how you come out and you stand on your own, that alone is a threat. And it's just crazy, man. But yeah, man, I do miss those brothers too. And of course, I'm pretty sure that's what Vic would have wanted. And I miss both of them. And I was there for both of their families. And like we all know at the end of the day, I've always been that dude that came up here and poured my heart out to YouTube on any and everything. A lot of people just don't not dislike, they just hate me for whatever. And it's like, why would you hate a person because they come up here and they spit the truth? Let's face it, the truth hurts, but they spit, you spit the truth and they hate you for it. But at the same time, when you talk about these companies prices are getting higher and higher, and it's now to a high peak to where customizers are now charging even double for worse quality control issues than these companies. And you got people, I'm trying to be nice now, you got people out here complaining about it, but they still supporting all these companies and corporations. But at the same time, when I spoke out years earlier, when I foreseen what Hot Toys and Sideshow and everybody else was going to do, I got blasted for it. I got hated for it. People start talking about all this other jibber jabber. I know you, Lou. You will. I know you remember those wars. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's ironic how these people, they all start getting rid of their Hot Toys. They start getting rid of their Sideshow. And then they get other individuals that sit up here, and the same words I used back then, these people are praising other people for basically stealing and taking my words and what I've been saying and using it for their benefit. And I sit back and I'm like, it's funny how hypocritical and biased these people, people are here are. And for those same reasons, the same reason why this is going on. I always talk about mass shootings, false flagging with 9/11. I spoke about and speak on all this shit, and everything has a lot to do with what's going on in today's society and what's going on now. Now you got people crying because they're seeing body bags. Like now people are realizing, this shit is real. So when you get a person like me, who people always think, oh, them fucking crazy cuckoo ass, conspiracy theorists. Let me tell you something about a person that sits back and follow and find things on their own. You got to ask yourself, what makes them smarter than you? What makes them smarter than you is they sit back and they read into the truth, and they find their own way, their own path on common knowledge on knowing that this shit don't add up. But they're hated for it because they're not part of the sheep herd. They're part of their own group somewhere off in the side where you're normally always a loner in the tree. But then when sheep come running to you, they start begging and trying to offer, they're trying to offer their fur, their backsides and everything to you, but it's too late. You don't, what I'm saying? You only have enough for yourself to survive at this point. So then you're considered the enemy now because now you don't want to help. When all in return, you were trying to help and turn them all into their own individual animals. It's too late. And now look what's going on. They are going on national television and telling people that they're giving doctors the grim decisions to make, the same decisions they make in a field of war. And if you hear all the time, they always publicly say that we are dealing with a wartime president. What the fuck is a wartime president? Wasn't Bush a wartime president during their forced flagging 9/11? More soldiers got killed under his command than anybody, even in Barack. Then you would think Barack was a wartime vet. Didn't he supposedly had killed off and found bin Laden? Wasn't there a bombing in Boston, Massachusetts? Wouldn't you consider them wartime presidents? So why is this guy wartime president all of a sudden? How can you do? That you guys got to read in between the lines and read this shit and be like, that makes no sense. This is what? The 31st of March. Now, China has the first doctor, the one who gave this virus its name. again, go back and research this. It makes sense why he gave it the name he gave, which is it wasn't COVID-19, it was the coronavirus. Why did he give it its name? Why did he give it that name? Why is it that not only did they discredit him, they blackballed him, they put him under quarantine, they shut him up, they took his position and everything from him in China. And he's been warning them about this since September to October. Then in November, when it started becoming a real bad epidemic, then they were like, no way. Because they helped plan all this shit. Then not only he's the person that gave the name, the first person to try to get them and try to warn the world about it, he was also the first person to die of it. Is that a coincidence? Or is that a coincidence that our president, which we all know that the U.S. owed China trillions of dollars, trillions of hundreds of thousands. I can't think of the math, but you guys know what I mean. Owed them crazy numbers. Now all of a sudden, everybody signs to be friends with each other. And then all of a sudden this pandemic just come up out of, hey, this started in China. This man signed with China, knowing that he is friends with a sick-ass, sadistic dictator, Putin. This guy is so fucking crazy. This president is so retarded and crazy that this man runs around and he got fucking lions out and about to keep people quarantined. If that don't go to show you how crazy Russia and these Russian motherfuckers think. And again, this man was given his wife by the same people. Let's face it, no president up until this orange asshole. His wife was a fucking whore. She was given to him. Not to mention, she looks like a transvestite version of Leonard Nimoy to me. Not to say that, that Leonard Nimoy, aka Spock, is a ugly guy. But let's face it, can you imagine him dressed in drag? And there you go. You got Trump's wife. Let's face it, she looks like, every president has come on, this man is an adulterer. He cheated on his taxes. He telling people during campaigns, grab him by the pussy. All this, Bill Cosby's locked up right now. So is R. Kelly. But then Epstein was going to tell on him, and they killed this motherfucker off. And then you got a president that cheated on his taxes. He's a sick sadistic motherfucker. The same week he got an office drama started. And now all of a sudden, the last stretch of his legs, now all of a sudden all this shit happens. And you motherfuckers out there, oh, these people are stupid. Why they can't stay home? You motherfuckers are falling right into what the government wants you to do. Why you guys don't realize, why is it so important for people to stay home because of this coronavirus? If the coronavirus was really transmitted by bats, so you mean to tell me if you degut an animal, knowing that most of the diseases and everything has nothing to do with the flesh. It has something to do with the internal organs of any living creature, whether you're a fucking insect, a plant, or a human, mammal, anything. So you degut this stuff, and then you start eating it, and now all of a sudden you can now all of a sudden this is how the coronavirus gets transmitted through other people. It does not add up. You know how many years it took for the Black Plague and all this shit to get to people? Now you mean to tell me one person caught it, this person caught it? It's airborne, y'all. It is a fucking bio weapon. You cannot sit here. My brain is maybe my head is so fucking. Maybe I'm leader from the Hulk's enemy. Maybe my head is this big because of the information I hold. There's no way you could sit here and pull a fast one over me. I am not stupid. It's just no way. I talk real shit, and I got 2 watchers watching my channel right now. If I sat here and start acting like a geeky ass white person, talking about stupid shit on what you call that, on storage units, and start walking around ripping people off and then giving and then saying, hey, basically nicely saying, hey, I just fucked over these people on buying video games and ripping people off and put it on TV. Oh, it'd be a whole different ball game. As long as I was a nice nigga, as long as I was an Uncle Tom nigga who sit back and kiss ass and be discreet, I would have hundreds of thousands of fucking views. I would be able to go to Comic-Con and stuff as a media personnel because I'll be I'm an ass kiss like everybody else. So yeah, he's a great guy, yay. But because I'm a straight street nigga like Louis Farrakhan, I'm a straight up motherfucker that speak his mind and happen to be black and be threatening as a straight separatist type person who speaks his mind, I gotta be hated. But you know what? It's all good. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be all right. Y'all all run. Y'all can act like y'all want to act, but y'all all run around terrified at the same time. The same fucking bullies that are sitting here smacking you and bullying you are the same ones telling you what to do. And y'all fucking stupid because I'm just so done with this, man. I gotta get off this because I'm gonna start talking crazy shit. So I'm just gonna say it is what it is, man. But to my man, Willosaurus, thank you for coming up here, man. And you are right. And I mean, you guys will be able to read this if anyway. But to my man Chi-Town, he always been a good supporter. I have a decent amount of supporters out there. I probably have like maybe 8 to 10 people out there that are real cool that still remember me from the old Mike Son 007 channel, and they understand and see me for who I am. Even some people that don't come up here no more, like my man Marty. Marty is our boy's brother at arms as well. To Ray, stay safe, and to my cousin Brent, he's an NYPD detective. Stay safe to you, brother. Much love to everybody out there. To a couple of friends I have here in East Orange. Including my homegirl Sergeant T. I'm not going to put her name out there. Stay safe to any and everybody out there who are on the front lines. Unfortunately, we're all basically cattle being led to be slaughtered. I already know I'm going to be basically a cow that's going to be killed in the field, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, we all owe death. We all owe death a visit. But I guarantee you, I'm going to give death. I ain't gonna give death a run, but I'm damn sure going to give death some company. Or bring company with me, and I'm not just some guy who talk out my ass. If you don't know me by now, you would know me enough to know that that nigga will go out. I will go out in a blaze of fire. You know what I'm saying? And I'm willing and I'm willing, able, and ready, man. Always have been and always will be. And I ain't kind of do that talk shit out my ass. I'm gonna kind of do that. I speak straight facts. And all these years I've been up here, it should be enough to let people know, yeah, he's a real nigga. Whether you like me or not, I am that motherfucking dude, man. This is going to most likely be my last video on this whole thing because I am so done with trying to help people and school people on shit. And a lot of motherfuckers just don't like to listen or learn anything. And, like they say, truth be told, truth be heard. At the same time, motherfuckers going to listen to what they want to listen to, man. To be honest, I have no idea, Will. Even before Lou passed away, me and him always had we had a lot of conversations about that. Because about 2 months before he passed, he was done. He was tired of a lot of some people on the show, and he was tired of the hypocrisy and how some people were telling him why you got that dude on the show and this and that. And that's why a couple weeks before his passing, you notice how as soon as I got on the show, some people would just go off the show, and he didn't like that. And him and Vic were gonna make me the third person. I was gonna be the alternate and or the third person, to be on the show with them. But I was like, you know what? I'm not really that much into just sitting there looking at statues all day. No disrespect to them, and I would tell them that. So I didn't really have the knowledge like everybody else had. So that's why most of the time, even when they both were still alive on the show, I would give my feedback on stuff, but I didn't know what was coming out and this, that, and the third because it just wasn't my cup of tea. And then when Vic passed away, Lou wanted me to take his position, which in reality I wasn't taking his position. I was just basically being I would say upgraded because again I was supposed to be the third person on it. Actually the fourth. I'm lying because I forgot Lou has a friend in Jersey. I can't remember his name right now. Real cool guy, man. And it was sort of have been 4 of us. And they were going to expand the show because remember they did the Immortalized in Stone, and then they had the other channel where remember how they did a channel just the 2 of them just talking about statues, and then they would start coming on and doing a live panel and whatnot. So it was going to be like a third thing that we were going to do where we would go to each other's houses and do certain things and meet each other in public and this, that, and the third. Then when Vic fell ill and passed away, that got downgraded. But even as that got downgraded, I was gonna be upgraded to take Vic's spot, but I didn't want to do so because again, I'm not that knowledgeable with the stuff, and I wasn't gonna go out and just buy a whole bunch of statues to review and do this, that, and the third with it. And I didn't think it would be fair for Lou to do so, and then I would just basically leech off of what he was doing. And we had these conversations. And then when Lou moved to Florida, we were in agreement that he kind of talked me into doing it because he said, you and Vic are virtually so much alike, Mike. You need to do it. And I was like, and I was still contemplating it. And as I was contemplating it, he made a thing with Tim to where Tim was going to take Vic's place because being that they both were in Florida, it was more feasible. So that way they can go to each other's houses. And then I'll be the third to come in. And then when I found out from Chris, thanks a lot to Chris, Chris, aka Bunkbed, I call him. He knows why. He was the first one. He was the first one to contact me and let me know. I found out on the way. I almost crashed because I was crying so hard that I almost ran into another vehicle because I was actually on my way coming back to Jersey from Brooklyn, picking up probably some of the best storage units I've ever purchased. And I found out. So when I called Lou's mom was like so thankful that I called because I was one of the I would say the third people that she was trying to get in contact with me to figure out to figure out something. The reason I say that because his friend that used to live with them, I forgot her name, real cool sister. And then his boy that I was just mentioning earlier, the other guy that was going to be the third and I was going to be the fourth. And again, I contacted, Lou's, I had Lou's mom's number. No, I didn't have a number. I think I tried to call a couple times and she recognized the name because I've done some stuff with her through her banking and what. Anyway, the family trusted me so much that I had her banking information. Let's put it that way. And that's how she knew who I was. And we were talking. We both started crying on the phone. And I was like, listen, I'm gonna get down there as soon as I can. And again, the love that she knew her son had, the love and respect that you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like I was within a week, I was in this, not only in a home, he's no longer here. Not only was I in my home with my child, I drove down there to be with this family. And I was sleeping in the same room, the same space. I was taking showers in where he passed away. Vic's family allowed me to do a video to show respect to YouTube because they knew the respect. When people speak when you're not there and they speak highly of you and not ill of you, their family, loved ones around you have a certain respect for you because they know that their loved one loved and had respect for you. And that's why I brought that funeral view for YouTube to show that respect to Vic. And at the same time, I also was allowed to be where Lewis lost his life, where he was no longer here, where he passed at, where his spirit left his body at, because of the love that he had for me. And because of that transferred to the family, because people speaking highly of me and not ill of me. And this is why I always say that if people meet me in person and or met me in person, they would be like, yo, this is a real different guy. And it's not that I'm a different guy. It's just that YouTube puts a false persona on people because of people's unintellectual, idealistic thoughts on what others think of them because they follow the grain and not go, they follow against the grain and not going with their own grain. And that's the reason why I shouldn't be nowhere near where I should be up here on YouTube. I was the first and only person when people were complaining about Sideshow. I called up Sideshow and aired it on the old Mike Son 007 channel. I don't know if you remember that. But everything I tried calling and getting in contact with Hot Toys. Hot Toys even left me 3 messages when I was going back and forth with drama years ago with Clipper King. It was me, my boy Q the Island Boy, so many other people that were rushing to my side when I was going back and forth with some people up on YouTube who have since got out of a lot of this stuff they gotten out of. And it's funny because you sit back and listen, you're like, damn, well, people don't have no legitimate reason for hating this guy other than the fact that he always spoke out about where these companies not giving a shit about the consumers. As far as quality control issues and quantity go, and prices being skyrocketed. And it's like people hate you and dislike you for that. And that's pathetic. And but again, yeah, I was just basically giving some thought on. I mean, just basically speaking more out than what you just said. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that channel. After Lou passed away, I was done. I was done with it. Will when I start sitting back and hearing other people's thoughts on why they had respect for Lou and why they this and that, I'm like, yo, listen, man. It takes a lot. It takes a lot more. It takes a lot more than anybody could just give a couple of bucks. It don't show you got respect and love for a person. You know what? I mean, a person's character than just giving a couple of bucks. Real words and real actions speak on love and going out of your comfort zone. You think it was easy for me to go out there and view my friend's body being in suspense like that, being around his loved ones, the pains of his loved one, the pains of myself, knowing that I have love and respect for this man, and to sit there and strongly have enough emotion to hold back my own emotions to show that and give it to people out there, and then to go travel with my child in crazy rain weather, spending almost 24 hours. Well, not really on the road because I visited my sister and then my boy who I grew up with here in East New York, Brooklyn, in school, visiting both of them on the way going down there and then coming back up to be with a family for a week. And it's not even being with them to celebrate, because the deal was Lou and me, we actually made we were gonna surprise his mom for me going down there one day with Isaiah because she loves Isaiah and vice versa. And unfortunately this happened. So I used that opportunity to try to help cheer her up. And she was her and Louis Pepe Sr. and Michael Pepe, the surviving brother, the mother and the father had a lot. Me and my son actually helped. And that meant a lot to me. You understand? That really, really meant a lot to me. The fact that even though I wasn't allowed to say bye to my brother and even see him, just knowing that me and my son helped in some kind of way meant a lot to me. It meant that, my gas and my time wasn't in vain. And that's all that mattered to me, was the fact that I'm a real dude, man. And it is not, I mean, shit. God forbid, will anything, God forbid anything, you break your leg and you get into an accident, you like your mic. You think you can come and help me out for a couple of weeks? I'd be like, I would fucking be in my vehicle so fast to come drive, up to Chicago, and I'll be there for a couple of weeks. Just make sure you got enough food in the refrigerator, and I'll be there to help you the fuck out. I know you already got your people, but like on some real, that's the kind of person I am. And I'm like that with a lot of people, man. I'm that dude. I'm sorry. I'm so busy talking. I didn't even read this. Hold on. Oh, well, thanks a lot. Well, dude, now you making me feel so fucking. You making me feel so funny now because you sit there telling me you appreciate my war room. You gonna sit back and sip on some Chi-Town tea and laugh and be like, "Ha, that peasant. He's got nothing on me." But nah, man, I appreciate it. Well, I am in the next couple of days, I am going to be doing a room tour, which is something people have been asking for since I think 2015 or 16 at the old house in Queens. But being that I was getting rid of so much stuff and I was in transition, I kept saying that when I get where I want to get, and when I first moved here, I was going to do it, but I knew I was getting rid of a lot of statues. And then when I lost 2 statues to 2 statues falling, and that's why I got rid of my statues. I was like, you know what? I could, and it was good statues that I really, really love, and I was just so sick of it. Yeah, you better call. I'll be there. You better believe it, brother. I may take some shit of yours home with me, but I'll just fuck with you, man. Whatever you have there will stay there, man. But I'll definitely. I would never. I never spit. I don't have to explain myself to you, but I don't spit nothing in my mouth that I don't stand behind. So you already know I'm true with that. But let me read this again. I'm digging your raw room, brother. It's really tight. Congrats on it. Thanks for telling us that story, brother. Got me back sad, but it is sad. Or any loss is sad. But the sad thing I want to bring to this is we as a people are so formidable on giving shout outs and showing love to others during our passing than when we're alive. Like, for instance, God forbid something happened to me right now and somehow it gets leaked to YouTube, 90% of the people that dislike me and don't give me the props and shit I have will be the same ones that would sit there and be willing and ready to send my family money or send my family flowers in my demise and talk about what they really got or what they really respect about me. Why we can't respect each other while we're alive, but at the same time, we want to hate each other and show envy toward another individual for being their own individual person while they're alive, but then in death, you want to praise them. And I think that's so hypocritically pathetic. And I'm like, why so many people out here on YouTube hate me? Like, why you dislike me so much? What the fuck did I do to anybody personally? I always come up here and try to help you people. I always came up here and show love and respect for YouTube and YouTubers. I always came up here and try to warn and show you people the truth. Hey, what's up, Haitian? Oh, my wife don't want to show herself. Woman is beautiful. She don't want to show herself. I'm sick of her. No. You fucking Haitian. You gonna make breakfast or something?
No.
Can I get a water? Yeah. I think it's down in the basement. Thank you. So yeah, so it's like, why hate me so much? Because all I ever do is come up here and try to help you guys and spit the truth. And it's like, when you think about it, why? You got some people out there who I've done deals with. I gave them great deals. And those are some of the same people that back talk me, talk crap about me. But at the same time, they sit there and did other deals with other people ripping them off. And at the same time, they all sit back and spit on what they did not like about these companies and corporations. But at the same time, you guys since then talked ill about these companies. But because you guys were in the same group, sit at the same table, it's okay. But since I was at my own table ahead of you guys, get ready to basically graduate and trying to spit it on y'all all sat back like, yo, this fucking fool. And he's a conspiracy theorist. And he just got a loud mouth. And he's so dramatic. All he do is talk drama. How? What kind of drama do I create? Or how am I so dramatic? And how am I so this when all I did was sit here and spit at the truth? If that's not true, then explain to me why we're all in quarantine right now. Why, I always sit back and try to help everybody up here. And a lot of you people out here dislike me because all I did was speak the truth. I mean, I understand the truth hurts. But all I ever did was come up here and try to care and help people. And because the way I speak, because I have no discreet filter, I'm a threat. Nah, so be it. It's okay. I'm sorry, Will. What we got here? Yeah, you better. Oh, that's right. You said that, Larry. Laugh out loud. I got you. I'm glad you got me, brother. But you always got me because you always been. Even though a lot of times you don't comment or say a lot, but I appreciate the fact that you always. I can always tell who got somebody's back. Thank you. This is 2020, and most of the people that comment every now and again pop up and or still active people in my subscription are the ones that been there with me from the days of Hot Toys' peak, when I was one of the only people out there that had almost every high-end Hot Toy figure you could think of back then. But it's crazy, man. It's just bugged out. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, come here. Don't come too close. I see how you dress. Don't come too close. I don't want nobody seeing you. You gonna make something to eat?
I just want to work out.
Oh, what are you doing?
Some abs and
all right. Nobody wants to cook for me. God damn it. You see what I got to deal with? Not only do I got to deal with disrespect up here, but now even my own house, nobody want to cook for me. But when I cook, everybody's God damn them. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they were on me and Vic. And that's what really, me and Vic, being that at the time he was living in the city and I live in Queens, but we both went to the same comic shop. Like I knew Mike and Chuck, Royal Collectibles, even Chuck's father. I knew everybody in Royal Collectibles back when Mike was a child. Now, back then, Royal Collectibles only dealt with sport memorabilia. They dealt with comics and sports stuff. I was the first person when they changed their store. I was the first person to get them into figures. They start selling figures because of me. I was the first person to sell them figures. And this is Mike and Chuck. I mean, I'm sorry, this was Chuck and Charles, you know, Chuck's father. I've been in these people. Now, these are beautiful Italian Americans. And you know, old school Italians don't play games. They don't play games. They don't got time for bullshit. They're a very arrogant and proud people, especially when you're over 40. They don't play. And I mean, come on, look at Lou's family. Prime example. Lewis's family, old school gangster Italians, his pop. My boy Chuck, who owns Royal Collectibles, and his father, Charles Marone. These are individuals that, I mean, these are people that they only keep a certain amount of people around them. I understand that. I've breaking bread with these people in their family. I've been married for almost 24 years now. My daughter's 21, and I still have my wife. We have 3 beautiful kids. If that doesn't say enough about my character, I don't know what does. Outside of that, I have a very, very close net of friends, and all my friends, immediate family, like their loved ones, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, all love me. I don't have not one person who could talk ill about me. Like my boy Russell, I was talking about earlier in this video that his father just passed away from the COVID-19 virus, and they're not even allowed to. I'm not going to go into those details, but I met him. How I met and how he met is crazy, but we're mourning. Just we call ourselves cousins because of the love and respect and the family we have. Like my kids grew up with him, and vice versa. You understand? And he's like my closest friend and my closest family. As far as like the love I would have for another brother, it's to the point where Russell's not even an individual. He's like part of me. You understand? And I'm pretty sure that's vice versa too. Juggernaut Jones, check out Villain Von Doom 2 YouTube videos. I'll definitely do that, brother. And I appreciate you coming on, man. It's good to have people out there. I mean, you know, I've never seen you before, but I appreciate it, man. I really, really, really do, man. Because anytime I always continue doing my videos just on the merit and on the simple fact that if I can, like I say, each one teach one. If you can get one person to look at a video, and even if they don't like you or like how you come out, if that can help them do research and or look into their own resources on some of the stuff you're spitting, because deep down inside, we all get emotional to what somebody says, whether it's logistically positive or negative. There's always some kind of impact a person has for you to do your own research, even if it's just to try to, you know, come back up and show this person up and say, hey, you said this, but this is that. Nobody can never say that about me and say, oh, you're a contradiction, or you lied about this. For every video I have, you can never sit here and backtrack me and say, hey, you're a liar, you're a hypocrite, because I've always been straightforward. You know, last thing I'm gonna do is come up here and look like a fucking jackass or a liar. Who would trust a liar? I've always been up here and been straight, truthful, and spit straight facts. Yeah, they owe me royalties for that figure plug. Yeah, it's been a long time. Now they've gotten God knows how many hundreds of thousands of people been selling them shit, from statues to comic books since 90. I've been knowing Chuck, and I've been knowing the Royal Collectible family. Well, I would say Chuck and Charlie. I've been knowing them for about, you figure what? Biggie was still alive, so you figure and Tupac. So you figure I've been knowing them since 95. Since 1995, I've been knowing the Royal Collectibles original family, like Chuck's mother Marie, to his father, and his mom is a beautiful woman, but she is not. She's one of the mothers that she's one of those like and I've gained her respect and love over years. Even as far as Chuck's sister and brother-in-law to the children when they were younger. Like I said, I've sat back and broke bread with these people. I've been in their offices where they had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise just sitting around, and everything stayed right where it is, because that's the kind of person I am. Same thing with Lewis's family. Lou had a lot of jewelry, lot of shit Lou was not a poor dude when it came to spending money on stuff. And for everything that for whatever was there before me and my son Isaiah got there, everything was still there when we left. And I left with stuff. I made a deal with his mom, and she got virtually every dime. And I helped them. I helped them out in a lot of ways, and they helped me too. You know, they helped me get some foreclosure on my boy, and at the same time, I helped out the family as best I can with what I was given. And that's as best I'm going to get. I was there for Vic's family. I'm not gonna go into the financial because that's not that's irrelevant. I was there emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and that's way more than financially. But I was there for that too. But you know, and I try to put that out there, and I got and gained respect for it, but then it just went back to hating Mike again. The one mistake I did make that my cousin, that I do agree with my cousin on, my cousin Russ, I was just talking about, is I should have never got rid of my Mike Son 007 channel. I should have kept that channel, even with all the drama and everything. On that channel, even on this channel, months ago, I don't know what the hell happened or what somebody said, but I find it highly irregularly weird, but they actually canceled a lot of my old videos, including videos that had something to do with the like what you need to survive and stuff. Some hate really, I don't know, it was crazy. But you know, I definitely would hope and pray that people would like, sub, and share, and comment, which you know, I got 2 brothers that did that. I went from having 1 viewer to 3, then to peak at 4, and then back down to 2. So even if you look for a couple of minutes, I appreciate it. And again, to Juggernaut Jones, I don't know who you are, brother, but I will definitely be looking into subbing you. And speaking of that, Will, do I have you subbed? Why? If I do, I should. There's no reason why I shouldn't, man. Let me write this stuff down, because maybe I'm not on this channel. I just realized, because I used to see you a lot on Lewis's but I know I had you subbed on the old Mike Son 007 channel, but I don't think I have you subbed on this, and I need to do so because we need to exchange phone numbers. We've been talking about this for a while, but we definitely need to do that. But I definitely want to sub. Put you guys on my channel. So I need to write this down ASAP. Where's my glasses? Probably downstairs. I should actually have you up here, Will. I don't know why I wouldn't. But I probably got this mixed up with the other one. I should. Okay, then I'm gonna put down. I'm definitely gonna sub Juggernaut Jones, and that's everything with everything is capital letters. Juggernaut Jones, capital letters. You know, there's never such thing as too late of anything, man. Only time something is too late is when it's too late. And you know, we're all gonna, unfortunately, you know, if this thing keeps going the way it's gonna go, we're all gonna personally be touched by this COVID-19 virus in a negative way. We're already being touched negatively by what the governments are trying to, you know, bestow on us and tell us what to do and how to do it and whatnot. Everybody just need to hang in there. When you can, get as much cotton as you can. If you can go into Petco and stuff, and if you can get yourselves the black rocks or the charcoal. Remember how back in the day when you used to, you know, get the charcoal filters? Remember how like you had to buy the charcoal and the cotton to put into the filter for your fish? They have gotten rid of a lot of that stuff in a lot of places because now they use different filtration systems with, you know, a lot of companies now make stuff supposedly so much easier for you to just dynamically just clean your fish tank and stuff. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever did that. Thank you so much. Go out there and get yourself some that. Get a lot of bottled water. We actually have the Kaigan machine, alkaline water, as well as bottled, and we have the big 5-gallon water machine, jugs and stuff too, because we drink a lot of water in this house. Especially with me losing 70 pounds, and you know, my body reacts differently because I was always so strong, and even though I was 70 pounds, I looked real good and I was real solid. Now I'm extremely frail. I lost so much weight, and my body reacts different to the elements now. And of course, me being a bone cancer surviving victim, and that's another reason why me and Lewis's mom had a real good pact, and we became real close too, because of the fact that she also is a bone surviving victim. You know what I'm saying? A bone cancer surviving victim, and we're both in remissions, thank God. And so we actually pacted a lot more closer just on that. That and the way I speak, I'm very respectful in people's homes. You hear me curse up here, fuck a lot, but but in person, I still think I'm a very respectful person up here. I just that when I'm trying to help people and tell people the truth, I get emotionally pissed off at the fact that I'm like, why so many people just because they do goofy shit and act like children on YouTube, you guys love them, but then you got people that are doing the same thing they're doing and doing reviews, but at the same time they're trying to help you stay healthy and stay alive and keep money in your pocket. Why you hate them so much? All right, do that. Definitely PM me the number, brother, and we'll talk. Appreciate you, Will. Yeah, he's a great guy. This is a guy that he's been doing video. Actually, Will Sir's been. He was one of the first person, not only the first people to get me to stay doing my vids, but he was one of the first people. Him and that crazy dude from it was three original people that got me into starting to do my videos. Because I've been doing YouTube videos for a long time, about a year or two before them. But what really got me when I started getting big into hot toys, and what really pushed me, because Will Sir has been up here for a long. He's been doing videos for a long, great videos. One of the original great viewers for a very long time. Technically, I think he's underrated, and I'm not just saying that because I'm cool with him and we're cool. I'm just saying because it's straight facts. He's been up here for a very long time, and he's been very meticulous on how he does his views, and he's not biased at all. He just speaks the truth, and he just goes right into it. Is just straight up on his views. But it's him. What's the crazy ass? And then of course you have my boy Moogie. What was Moogie's Moogie? What the hell was this Moogie? Was it Moogie 629 or Moogie something? I can't remember, but it was the brother with he always very polite, very cool guy, and he was great at action poses. And he's from Philly. Now he's big into droids and stuff droids. He's big into drones. Yeah, he's great with that. How he take pictures and what he does. That's ridiculous, in a good way. So it was Moogie. I think it was Moogie 215. I think that's it. I hope I'm saying it right. I think it was Moogie 215 or something like that. So it was him and his videos, Willosaurus, and that crazy Spanish dude from Florida. Pito Vision. There you go. Those three right there are the three original people that really got me started into really starting to just get my own channel and really stick with doing videos. And that's when I stuck with Mike Son 007, because I had 3 other channels to that, because this is my 5th channel when it came to being up here for a long time. I just realized how crazy it is that I went from talking about the coronavirus and other stuff to now I'm talking about this stuff. But hey, what are you gonna do? I'm kind of glad that these people posted this stuff up here, because it actually kind of calmed me down from really bugging the hell out. Yeah, you are OG, all right. Yeah, Willosaurus is definitely one of the original guys that started off this stuff. Definitely was him, Pito Vision, Moogie 215. I can't believe I still remember the other 2 names. That's crazy. And there was another person I can't remember right now. But those are the 3 originals that I used to watch their videos. Pito Vision, because of his craziness, the way he was just bugged out. His whole persona is what attracted me to his brand on what he did with his videos. He was just very, just different. And Will was more calm and just like Kenny G, just you sit there and you just listen to this dude play the saxophone, and you're just mesmerized on how he brings his persona on how he views. These 3 had their own dynamic way of how they did the reviews, but you always got caught into it because of how immaculate and how articulate they were with like again with Pito Vision, with his articulation and his attitude on how he went with the toy hunts and just showed you his enthusiasm. And then Moogie 215, I'm about to say 219, 215 with how he was just so calm and yo guys, this is great, and his aura on how he brought elegance and class to how he spoke about the articulation to the figure to actually setting up, putting them in these crazy poses. I still can't do to this day. Like my 19-year-old, that kid is a genius. He's like Moogie 215 when it comes to posing shit. Just these guys are genius. And I'm an artist. So for a guy who can draw, I should know how to pose shit. My posing game is garbage. And then of course my man Willosaurus he just basically took both of those two to another level on how his articulation, his posability, on how he spoke to you about posing way before anybody else started coming up here. Those three were it. And it's just great to be able to call, and I'm very, very stingy with that word, but I would definitely call Moogie 215 a friend all day, even though we don't stay in contact, and definitely Willosaurus by all means. I'm kind of like starstruck when it comes to Willosaurus, because again, he was one of the first to do it. He knows so many people have so many outlets, and to have somebody like that concentrated enough to watch your channel, and on top of that, you can consider that person a friend, and that person will leave comments and show love and respect to you, and even check up on you, even through messages. That right there proves to me on why I should never get rid of my channel. Regardless, I would trade everybody up here to have, respectful people like Willosaurus, and even now Juggernaut Jones. There's so many other people that will sit there and at least have enough respect and love for YouTube as a whole community. That's greatly appreciated. And yeah, Pito was insane. Yeah, he was, man. He was a funny dude, man. And y'all three, I could sit there. I used to watch you guys for months and months. And I think within a year, when I got my 4th to 5th hot toy, that's when I started doing reviews. And then it just every 2 days I was getting 3 and 4 hot toys. Because like back then, before Sideshow started selling hot toys, everybody was getting this stuff through this guy named Dave from Canada. He was how a lot of people were getting their hot toys before Sideshow decided to go in business with hot toys and start distributing for them. And that's how I was getting them. I was getting them from that through companies and stores that were, and back then, that paying $60 to $70 for anything was insane, and prices started going up gradually. And then all of a sudden, I guess Sideshow was like, yo, man, this company is really doing great work. And their 1/6 figures make ours look like, Soldiers of the World from Target. I forgot the Soldiers of the World come from Target or Walmart? Because I know they both had their own branch. Soldiers of the World was the worst looking. If you were into kit bashing, garbage. But they did have some real good, early 1800 wagons. Like people would use, like they came with some of the stuff that they used was pretty cool. Yeah, Moogie 2, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I did say it right, because I don't know why I said Moogie 269. The 215 is right. Yeah. And the real reason I remember 215 was because that's actually a code, an area code. Is it an area code, zip code in Philly? So, and I was like, that's crazy. And I actually spoke to what the hell is it? What name he used? Damn, I can't think of his name. His real name is Derez, but I can't remember his YouTube channel to save the life of me right now. But anyway, we spoke, I think, last week or the week before that. We always cursing each other out and stuff. We could talk to each other for every 7 months to a year, and we just leave off where we started. He's cool though. But yeah, man, this is crazy, man. So yeah, this live chat, I wish I knew how to go about adding people to the channel and stuff instead of me just talking and stuff like that. But I don't know how to do all that jibber jabber. But I think I decided it'd be best if I just stopped talking about this thing, because I do understand and know that it frustrates people. And it ain't nothing to thank me for, brother. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Will. because people like you are the reason why I keep doing what I do and why I love doing these videos. You know, I'm kind of like the outcast, the evil stepbrother of YouTube, and I shouldn't. I'm not gonna say I shouldn't be. I'm not gonna say I should be praised, but I think I should be respected, and I should have a lot more subs than I have. And again, reason people hate me and dislike me because their own interpretation of being threatened by what I said about companies they spend money on is ridiculous, especially due to the fact that 90% of these individuals no longer respect and or buy and or deal with these companies. So I really don't understand the whole point behind that. But it's easier to live a martyr and be hated than to be a living legend. Because technically, to some people, and including myself, I consider myself a legend up here on YouTube, just like you. Like there are very few legends up here, and you know, Pito is one, Muggy215 definitely one, and you are a legend, and I believe I should be up there on a pedestal with you guys. You know, I don't think nobody's more aggressively better than the other. I just think that we all have our own space on where we should be, and I just think that there are a lot of names I'm missing that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But you know, I just think some brothers out there, and I don't mean brothers as in black, I mean brothers as in brothers to the YouTube community, because there are a lot more men out here who do YouTube videos than females. So I just think a lot of people out here should be more respected as you know, YouTubers in this community, because at the end of the day, people do videos to help others and to be entertained and to show other people they love, and you know, to be able to show this kind of stuff. But you know, for Will, it is, I know I already passed. I already got an A+ when it comes to being graded, because this brother here loved what I didn't even show everything, and he loved what I mean. That means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? It really means a lot. Yeah, I do remember when Sideshow was Garage Kids. So was Hot Toys. Remember that, Will? When Hot Toys were like $55 to $60, like when they first started doing the Alien. Because when Hot Toys first started, they were all kits, and they started with the Alien and the Alien stuff and the Predator stuff. And their first line of stuff they came out with was the Alien kits. They did the like some of the Space Marines, like what was the name? Kane? Was it Kane or Dean? They did those kits, and even though the head scopes weren't extremely accurate, but the quality was almost superb when they first started out. They put a lot of effort in that stuff, and they were all under $100. What made them over 150 to 200 was as time went by, and as quantity got so low, that's what made them go up in price. Was the fact that, hey, if you didn't have it and you wanted it, you had to spend money on it. Then they started doing then they did the side characters, like they did Dutch, Billy, and even though Billy was not, you know, Sonny, I forgot his last name, the Native American actor who played in a lot of movies too. They didn't have his rights, so that's why they gave him blonde hair instead of black. And if you wanted to make him more accurate, you had to kit bash him. And what a lot of people were doing, including myself, was we just basically painted the hair black, and we added the you know what I'm saying, the war paint on it on some parts of his face to make him more screen accurate. But yeah, I remember that when they were all doing you know, the garage kids, and then even before the 1/6 scale they were doing that, because they were doing the Universal Studios stuff. Sideshow first started out doing those kind of kits. They were doing the same kind of kits. What's that company? Aurora, I believe. Aurora were doing it, so they were actually competing with Aurora. Because you remember, Aurora was a real good company that was making a lot of kits too. So what they did was they just made their kits a little bigger. They gave it fancier packaging, and that was back when Sideshow was really respectful to shop owners, as well as, you know, giving stuff that because the customers wanted. But then they got so big to the point where they start disrespecting and minimizing the middleman, which are the people that put them on a pedestal and put them where they were, and they just start saying, "Fuck it, we're gonna start selling to the public. We don't give a shit about the public, but at the same time, we don't give a shit about the shops that made us what we are." And I don't like shit like that. And I even spoke to Caleb and other people on Sideshow, and I put everything up here on YouTube on my old channel. Even when I was excuse me, talking to one of their people at the show. He was very, he wasn't uncomfortable. We were talking on the side and everything, and he didn't care what I aired. And but the funny thing is, like later you found out that Caleb was no longer. I don't know with the company, but he was no longer traveling with them. I'm not gonna, what I'm saying? It's just. And then every time I used to go by the Sideshow booth, they would just give me these evil looks, and I would just smirk at them because I know that people of Sideshow knew who I was. Because a lot of them were very uncomfortable with the questions I was asking Caleb when he was actually putting that that Heath Ledger Joker together in Comic-Con 2017. And some people are like, well, you're gonna get to work, and they're like, well, he can't keep talking. I said, well, if he's gonna keep talking to me, I'm gonna keep talking to him. I told one of the ladies that because they're very disrespectful and nasty. They're just like Trump. If you don't kiss people's ass, you become an enemy. And if you're not an ass kisser, you become an enemy. Prime example. Look how Trump is now. This man, the first 3 days he got in office, there was already drama and everything. People kept getting fired, locked up, investigated, locked up, and now look where we are. The last stretch of his presidency, so-called. And another prime example. Look where I am in YouTube. I am actually a YouTube legend. And I'm not just putting that out there for me. I am actually a YouTube legend. But at the same time, I got less respect, less love, less subs, and less views than anybody. And I get less comments. But I still do my stuff. So, it is what it is. But anyway, got to go. I've been on here for over an hour and a half, and I'm just done. Are you still you do? Wow, that's crazy. How's the is it I know it's biodegradable. Like, how's the condition of it? Hopefully it's still in good condition. The Outer Limit TV show figures. Oh man, I remember. I had all those. Damn, Will, I had all those, man. The Gremlin and shit. I had all those. Remember the what was it, dude? The guy and the lady with the pig. Like they had the pig nose and that. Yeah, damn, I had those too, man. The one thing I really remember those is the smell. Remember when you first opened them up, especially the Gremlin. Remember how funny he felt. Because like they use that weird looking cotton type material for the Gremlin, and it was like the way he felt was funny, but then the way they smelled was just like it was like it's hard to explain, man. Really, really hard to explain. Monsters in Motion online store. I don't know what that means. A little confused about that one. Monsters in Motion online. What is that, like a new store where you could buy this stuff from, or is that where you got the stuff from back then? I'm a little confused at that one. And they do owe me royalties, right? Royal Collectibles, nah, man. Royal Collectibles, I used to get a lot of my stuff from them when they first started becoming a real big consumer of buying Hot Toys. Because at first they used to verbally say that, we don't have the market for it. And I said, well, you guys got to make the market for this stuff. If you make the market, sometimes store owners, they get too comfortable in getting stuff that they like. And I tell a lot of people that, you can't do that. You got to get stuff that's trending, because, you should. And I'm glad they listen. I doubt I'm the one that really got them into doing it, but I'm glad they listened because they became a real market for Sideshow and Hot Toys, and they brought and sold a lot of that stuff, and they always gave me very good prices. I mean, if they paid like 120 for something, they were only making $20 to $25 on me instead of making, the suggested retail price or more because of demand. So like I said, I'm like I don't just get the cousin or the family discount. I get more of the brother. Well, I used to get more of the brother sister discount in Royal Collectibles, but I haven't brought anything since I moved here. The last couple of things I brought was some Sideshow statues, which happened to be 2 of them that broke. And after that, I was done. Only statues I have is my Dr. Doom that I actually customized, and I paid a tailor. I finally found a real tailor in Jersey, and he actually made a leather white suit for it. And from Jerry Macaluso, which is Pop Culture Shop, I still have that Akuma bust he gave me. He didn't have to give it to me, but he did. So yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's uh all right, well, Will, it was definitely talking to you, brother, because it seemed like I was actually more. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, man. I got a one thumbs up, so I'm getting somewhere, and now I have three views again. So I definitely appreciate everybody out there. I hope everybody stays safe, and please, people, man, when you get people like me who come up here, man, don't hate us while we're alive, and then you guys want to sit here and show us love and respect when we're dead, man. It's a community. We're all a community of humans on this earth, and up here, whenever you do something with socialism or basically, social media, we're all in a grand, the grand thing of social media and being part of a community that's greater than any one of us. We all come up here to share because we want to share. You're always gonna have haters and stuff, and it's sad that the world's like that. But oh, it's an old school store. Okay, yeah, but they did, but they had a weird stink to them though. See me, I'm an artist, so I airbrush and I use spray paint and shit. I get to the point I don't even need or use a respirator, and I don't cough or anything. My I hate to say it, but my body's so used to the toxins and shit. Not to say that I get high and shit, but I don't need a respirator to use airbrushes or especially spray cans and shit. But the smell of a lot of those figures, it stunk, but it stunk in a good way. It's kind of like me. Like I love going to the gas station and smelling gas. I love the smell of gas, man. I can't. I'm just weird. I never sniffed whiteout or paint thinner. I never used anybody's drugs. I never smoked weed. I never, I don't deal with none of that stuff. That was never me. I'm not a drinker or anything, but I just love the way certain fumes smell. I don't be like, it's just that if I'm spray painting something, I don't have to go off in the corner and cough or anything like that. It's just weird. So, but yeah, I do remember the gremlin. But that gremlin, it had a weird, it's just like a weird sticky feeling to it. When you took it out the box. Then when they came out with those dead figures, man, those figures are off the chain. Even though it was during a time when Hot Toys were getting to their pinnacle, and when you look at the quality of the Hot Toys versus the quality and the quantity of the dead figures, it was kind of like looking at a Soldiers of the World figure versus a Dragon figure. Because remember, back then, you had G.I. Joe, and then G.I. Joe, you had 21st Century. And if you wanted to do some nice kit bashing, you had to buy the 21st Century figures for their uniforms. Then when they came out with their accessory weapons were outdoing everything G.I. Joe came out with because they looked a lot more realistic. And they came out with the 1/6 scale weapons and then vehicles, which people were using the kit bash with G.I. Joe. Then after that, you had Dragon, and Dragon was just dominating everybody with everything. But Dragon weren't putting out at the time of the pinnacle of 1/6 scale kit bashing was real popular. Dragon got into the game real late with their 1/6 scale vehicles at that time. And their figures cost a lot more cost. Their figures cost twice as much as a 21st Century. Because remember, G.I. Joes were anywhere from $9.99 to like $40, and that was 40 if you got them from like FAO exclusives and stuff like that. And 21st Century, their figures are anywhere from $12 to $19.99, depending on what they came with, because their vehicles were like $60, $50 to $60, which was extremely expensive for back then in the 90s. Then when Dragon came out, their figures were dominantly around $19.99 up to like $1. Even back then, that was expensive, but it depended on what it was and what it came with, et cetera, et cetera. And then after that, you had another company that was just more dominant because they would come up with tools and stuff. They came out with movable eyes and mouths that open where you could put cigarettes in and shit, which is called BBI, which is Blue Box. And then from there, the game just went all over the place. The game went all over the place, man. 1/6 scale just started in the 90s. 1/6 scale was dominating all the way up to like early 2000s. Then the 1/6 scale game blew up when Toy Biz came out with Marvel Legends. Once Toy Biz came out with the Marvel Legends, 1/6 scale took a back seat. It was like, okay, it took a back seat because at that time, people start remembering, oh man, people collect the comics and Toy Biz is doing this banging ass job on how they positioned and how they packaged their Marvel Legends and these nice, beautiful, clear, sold up blister packs with their figures, and they were and then like season like series 3 to 4, they start announcing Build-A-Figure parts, and it just blew up. And again, 1/6 scale went to the back burner. Then around 2005, 2006, the toy market was getting so great with the 6-inch figures. They came, G.I. Joe came out. They just dominated the market with their 3-inch 3/4 reenactments of the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe, and that just went skyrocket. And they just started doing other shit. And then, people was like, yo, these toys, these 6-inch and 4-inch or under 4-inch figures are going crazy. So then DC started doing it. That's when it started kind of going back down a little bit. And then other companies started doing it. And during that, even in 2004, 2005, a company called Hot Toys started doing 1/6 scale figures. And they started doing licensed pieces. And people were like, yo, this is not bad. But people weren't really ready to spend $60, $70 on a nice looking Barbie doll, as people were calling it back then. But it just kept going on, and now you look at it, and now your average Hot Toy now is like almost $300 now for almost nothing. They were $200 when they were doing beautifully encyclopedia type box deluxe figures, and then from there it just kept going up and up because people weren't listening to other people, and people just wanted to show how big they were and put themselves on a map and be noticed because hey, they wanted to try to prove to people, hey, I can go out there and afford this, and they really weren't. They were just doing it just to do a video, and then they would turn around and sell it because they needed the money. A lot of people out there on YouTube were doing that. They weren't doing it for the love of the community or the love of the collectible realm of it. They were doing it because they just wanted to go out there and try to show and be something and be somebody they weren't, so they can get not only approval, but so they can actually get noticed and get attention. And then they'll be the same people that will turn around, talk bad or ill about me, and then turn right back around and sell off the figure because they needed the money. Just go to show how hypocritical YouTube was. And that's another reason why I was so hated. The only Dragon figure I brought was the Bruce Lee Kato Green Hornet. I remember that. One of the most expensive ones I brought was the Will Smith Martin Lawrence knockoff of the Bad Boys figures. Remember that? A lot of people don't even understand that Dragon did the Bad Boys. They didn't look like them, but they did the Bad Boys. And then of course you had Chow Yun Fat's character and Jackie Chan. A lot of people don't remember that. A lot of people don't understand that there was 2 Jackie Chan figures Dragon put out. There was 2 Jackie Chans, and there was 2 of the Chow Yun Fat character from the movie with him and Mark Wahlberg, placed in New York, which was called I think it was called the Corruptor or something like that. I think, was it the Corruptor or whatever? But anyway, that movie, Dragon was the shit, man. Dragon was definitely the Hot Toys of the late 90s, man. The late 90s going into like 2001. Dragon was the company. But Blue Box was better, even though Blue Box didn't have a lot of licensed shit. But a lot of people didn't follow Blue Box because, Blue Box, you had to get. Blue Box was a company you had to like. Them and Elite Brigade. No, not Elite Brigade. What was it? No, they had another name for it. Elite Brigade was a company. Was it Elite Brigade? Oh no, Elite Brigade was the company that was doing that brought the Hasbro mold for the old G.I. Joe, and they were putting their own. No, that's Cotsworld. Whatever. It was Elite Brigade. Whatever. But anyway, BBI was, and I used to get my BBI and Dragon figures online from Kmart because back in 2000, 2001, you go into the stores and you were paying like $60, $70 for BBI, aka Blue Box, which stood for Blue Box International, and Dragon figures. But if you went online, I forgot, but it was a Kmart, not Kmart, KB. KB Toy Store had a online site, and they would always sell BBI and Dragon figures. And I used to get my shit from them because they were like, if they were like $60 in the store, they were only like $19 and $24.99, through the KB website. So I used to get a lot of my shit from there. But back in the 90s and stuff, when 1/6 scale was, because like the toys that were really on market back then were like Transformers Beast War. You had Transformers Beast Wars, as far as action figure wise go. And of course, you had the 1/6 scale realm, which is G.I. Joe, et cetera, et cetera. And it was just crazy. But I remember a company called Good Stuff to Go. They were out of Kansas. I forgot the husband's name. I remember that the wife's name was Gail. Me and her got to argue one time because she was like real nasty and disrespectful, but the husband was real cool. I can't remember his name, but they had a like it was like a pamphlet or something, and you would call them up and they would explain to you what figures they had. And this was before the internet was a big thing, because back then during Windows 95 and Windows NT, there really was no eBay or no internet to look shit up like how it is now. So I used to order stuff through him. But I remember Ken, that was his name. His name was Ken and the wife's name was Gail. And they ran a company called Good Stuff to Go out of Kansas. And I used to get a lot of stuff from them. Then when online became popular, and then of course you had Cotsworld too. Cotsworld was another company that you would buy stuff through a catalog and whatnot. So those two companies were real big into the 1/6 scale realm. And then when the internet started coming around, then you had a company called I just forgot the fucking name. I had on the tip of my tongue and I forgot the name. Damn it. It wasn't Good Stuff to Go because I just mentioned them. I already forgot the name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I remember back when this stuff was really, really crazy. But anyway, gotta go. I already spent a little more than 25, almost 30 minutes more longer than I expected to be up here, because my plan was just to come up here and speak about this, that, and the third, and it wound up going into nostalgia and talk about other stuff, which I really didn't want to do, but out of respect for Will Saurus and Juggernaut, and a couple of other people up here who phased in and out, just felt that, okay, I'll just, relieve some tension, but stay safe, just, don't go crazy buying too much supplies of this and that because it's not necessary. Just make sure you're comfortable. Make sure that you're protected in your home. Whatever ways you have of protecting yourself, please do so. Practice and know your safe distances of what you need to do and what you'll need to carry if it gets to that. What you have to do to barricade yourself into your home, because people could start losing power, they could start losing water, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And with all the police officers being tested positive and a lot of others that don't want to come in, and you can't blame them. Who wants to come in and bring that shit home to, and it's like at the end of the day, is a paycheck worth for your health and your family's health and life? So it's like, it's a catch-22. And let's face it, a lot of police officers and law officials are going to pass away and die just as well as people in the health field. So you have to say, how long is it before this gets worse, and how long is it before it gets to the point where 911 is not operating? Because every state is already releasing a lot of prisoners and detainees, and a lot of places are not answering calls or are coming out to calls that are not violent, which means that if somebody's basically breaking into your house or they stealing stuff, or they could be doing a lot of stuff. A lot of calls are not going to be, calls are going to be just as long as traffic accident calls. And we all know unless you say that somebody's bleeding or their head, half their neck is sticking out, or they got broken bones. Let's face it, during most traffic accidents, if you're lucky, police come within half an hour to 45 minutes, unless it's unless somebody's urgently hurt. If they hurt, then the cops and the ambulances come quick. But if they read over the waves that hey, everybody's all right, they take their sweet time because you're not priority no more. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. So please take it easy. And I tried to tell people about this stuff for years. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I knew it was gonna come in a form of some kind of biohazard, because I just knew the mass shootings weren't gonna work, and it wasn't gonna, try to get under a lot of, conscious people that are smart enough to realize how effed up things are. So I knew it was gonna come in a form of this. I didn't know what it was gonna be called. But again, for those who do want to know anything and know something, just type in it'll just help put things in perspective for you. Like, wow, this stuff been here for hundreds of years, and now it's something. Why would they use this? Sometimes the way the government and the way things work, they use certain codes and certain names to put things in perspective and to do certain things. There's always codes and glyphs and stuff into what they do. Everything they do has a meaning or something. You ever notice why they call certain hurricanes and natural disasters, they give them names? There's code to why they give them names. You understand? So please, everybody, be careful and realize you can't trust your government, because your government don't give a damn about you. We're overpopulated. This country is trying to depopulate. We already outextended our resources. And that's no reason why they're doing what they do. And right now they're trying to get rid of the old, the too young, the weak. And they're trying to, kill off a lot of people that can fight back. And they're trying to kill off a lot of people in the medical field. So this way, when people do get real ill and real sick, there's nobody that can help them but the chosen few that are already in controlled environments to where they deem who will be helped and who won't be helped. And if that's too far-fetched for you, just look what they were saying on the news already about, it's going to get to the point where they're going to start using doctors to decide who's going to live and who's going to get the help and not. So if this is not a wake-up call, I don't know what the fuck will be. I guess a wake-up call will be when they come into your house, dragging your family out and just shooting them right in the head, right in front of you. Then the people are going to be like, oh shit, damn, man. All these conspiracy theorists was right. But at the end of the day, what good is it going to do you then? So stay up, stay safe, and stay knowledgeable, learn knowledge, and learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones. Because at the end of the day, fuck a law that don't respect you. And at the same time, you have rights as a human being on this earth for self-preservation, just like the government and the laws that they have a right to preserve and push their laws upon you. Peace.